Hello everyone. Today we would like to talk and discuss on Shmita, the year of the recession, and we'll first of all discuss everything concerning the Shmita year, what it means, what it entails, what you should understand about it, how it affects the global markets, and what every investor in this space, crypto as we speak, should consider when they want to invest into crypto, and how to predict and carefully track how the market and the price actions and the level of volatility that comes with the season. So we want to look at what Shmita is and how it influences the crypto market. So straight off, Shmita, according to Wikipedia, is the Sabbath year of the Jews, and it's also called the sabbatical year, or the seventh, or the season of release, or the Sabbath of the land. It is the seventh year of the 7-year agricultural cycle mandated by the Torah in the land of Israel and is observed in Judaism. Okay, so during Shmita, what happens is the land is always left to lie fallow, and all agricultural activity, including plowing, planting, pruning, and harvesting, is forbidden by the Jewish law. So other cultivation techniques such as watering, fertilizing, weeding, spraying, trimming, and mowing may be performed as preventive measures only, but not necessarily to improve the growth of trees or other plants. So additionally, any fruits or herbs which grow of their own accord, where no watch is kept over them, are deemed as ownerless. That is, everybody can pick them. Okay, so a variety of laws also apply to the sale, consumption, and disposal of Shmita produce, that is, things that are produced during that season. So all debts except those of foreigners were to be remitted. So all these statements, all these facts have scriptural and biblical references, which we'll be looking at shortly. So the most recent Shmita year that we currently have experienced as a global population, or as regards to the calendar of the Jews, is the year 2021 into 2022. So that was the Hebrew year 5782, and the next Shmita cycle will be in 2028 into 2029, and that will be the Hebrew year of 5789. Okay, so now we want to carefully understand what we really need to know when it comes to comprehending what the Shmita means. Okay, so the key to understanding the spirit of Shmita is to understand the weekly Sabbath. I think before we consider how or the keys we should understand about the Shmita, let's consider a few biblical references. And to understand the Shmita properly, you can quickly refer to this biblical text, Exodus chapter 23, verse 10 to 11. You can consider Leviticus 25, 1 to 7, even verse 20 to 22 of that same Leviticus 25. You can also consider Deuteronomy 15, verse 1 to 6, and other texts that clearly spell out what the whole Shmita is about, the origination of it, how it came about, and everything. But we now want to consider the key to understanding Shmita. So the key to understanding the spirit of Shmita is to understand the weekly Sabbath. In fact, the year of Shmita is also referred to as the Sabbath to the Lord. You find that in Leviticus 25 and 4. So just as we work for 6 days and rest on the seventh, we work the land for 6 years and also rest on the seventh. So the purpose of the Sabbath is to remember that God is the true creator. So too the year of Shmita reminds us that God is the creator and the owner of all. The weekly Sabbath ensures that we have time to focus on God, our families, and our faith. And the year of Shmita also gives us time to focus on all three of those fundamental values, especially on our faith. Faith is the primary value of the Shmita year. The Bible addresses the obvious question: if we don't work the land, then what will we eat? God promises that those who trust Him and observe the laws of Shmita will benefit from extreme abundance. So much so that what grows in the 6th year will be enough, not just for the 7th, but until the 9th year when the new crop's coming. So those who rely on faith in this year of Shmita will be richly rewarded. So we can clearly see that the whole idea of the Shmita, aside every other physical aspect of it, is to prove from our perspective as human beings, that is, I'm speaking as one that is a believer in Christ and also accepts that the Jewish faith is of relevance to human existence. So it's our accepting that God is the provider, creator, and owner of all things. So when he asks that we put everything aside in terms of our sustaining our livelihoods and just trust that he will also take care of us based on the produce he has given us in the previous years. So what he gives us in those years is enough to even cater for the year where we will not be producing as such, and also into the 9th year, okay, where we begin planting again. So that is the basic premise of the Shmita and the biblical references that are attached to it and what we should understand by it. So now we want to look at the wider implications of what the Shmita year, which we call the year of recession, entails. So we want to consider a few thoughts from a wonderful American Messianic Jew who goes by the name Jonathan Cahn. He wrote in his book, The Mystery of the Shmita, he notes that a striking number of financial crashes in the US stock market have occurred according to the timing of the Shmita. Although observance of the Shmita is only required of the children of Israel and only in the land of Israel, Khan observes that the influence of the Shmita appears to extend much further afield. If financial crashes were truly random, and since a Shmita year is just 1 year in 7, then we would expect a financial crash to occur during a Shmita year on average around 1/7 of the time. That should be about 14% of the time. However, Khan writes that the connection is not minimal. Rather, the average overlap of the Shmita to the collapse of the stock market is 85%. Whilst Khan is primarily looking at Wall Street, it is often said that when America sneezes, the world catches a cold. So what is clearly informing us is the fact that the Shmita year, for very, very strange and obvious reasons, happens 85% of the time when there is a financial crash in the US stock market. And I believe that is because most of the people at the helms of financial power in the US are mostly of Jewish origin. So they honor the values their religious culture also proposes. So that being said, it will eventually seep into the things they control, that is the financial system. So I believe that is the major reason. But he goes on to say things get even more interesting when we look at the final day of the Sabbath year, that is the 29th of Elul in Jew. It is September for the Gregorian calendar. So it's that time of the year of the Shmita that all debts are cancelled. In the Shmita years of 2000 into 2001 and 2007 into 2008, the financial crashes were concentrated around the end of September. So in 2001, the events of 9/11 dictated an immediate shutdown of the New York Stock Exchange for almost a week. Then when the stock exchange reopened on Monday, 17th September, Wall Street collapsed with the market plunging 684 points in one session. So that was in September 17, 2001, was also the 29th Elul, that is according to Jewish calendar. It was a day of nullification where debts are cancelled. So the big crash occurred precisely on the final day of Elul, when financial accounts were transformed and wiped clean. Likewise, in the following Shmita year of 2007 into 2008, the global financial crash reached its peak on the 29th of Elul, the exact day of nullification, where these two so he's asking, were these two financial crashes, both of which peaked on the 29th Elul, just remarkable coincidences, or were they God coincidences or God incidences? Since the probability of a random event occurring on one specific day in a year is less than 1/3 of 1%, given that the event only occurs once in the year, and since these Shmita crashes peaked on the day of nullification at the end of 2 consecutive Sabbath years, we have to wonder if God was trying to send someone a message. It is true that in 2014 and 2015, there was no great financial crash on the 29th of Elul, or maybe there was, but it was still estimated that the Shmita of 2014 and 15 wiped out a total of around $7 trillion from global markets. So it's evident that within the Shmita years, there's always a major financial global crash that happens everywhere. So currently, we can clearly see that right from 2014 into 15, as the markets thrived, even up onto the major crash that happened during the COVID-19 pandemic, that was in March. We can also see that since this Shmita year started from September 2021 into this September 2022, we can see that the market has declined drastically. So it is obvious that Shmita energy is weighing down on the market. If you understand this, going forward, and how to invest, how to play your cards well, and how to manage your risk, and how to manage your portfolios basically, so you always be ahead of the game. So finally, I want to give us a few stats according to history, how that the Shmita year and the cycle of the Shmita has affected the New York stock market in general. So let's take a look at the incredible accurate timing of the Shmita year as it impacts modern history in the realm of finances, economies, and empires. So we start all the way from 1901 into 1902, the Shmita year of 1901 into 1902. The US stock market suffered a 46% drop, which wiped out a lot of money. That was in 1901 and 1902, that Shmita year. The next one we'll have is 1916 into 1917. That Shmita year, also 40% of US stock market value wiped out. German, Austro-Hungarian, Russian, and Ottoman empires also collapsed. Britain, the world's greatest empire, was almost bankrupt. The beginning of the American to rise to world power. That is, America started rising to world power all during this one Shmita year. So you can see the progression. So we head over all the way to 1930 into 1931, that Shmita year. We can see that 86% of US stock market value wiped out in the worst financial crisis in modern history. So that drop was so drastic, and it still happened during the Shmita year. We also see another one, 1937 into 1938. That Shmita year, 50% of US stock market value wiped out, and there was a global recession. 1944 into 1945, just about the season where the Second World War was ending, there was the end of the German rage and Britain's hold on territories. There was the establishment of America as the world's superpower. That was the season of the Bretton Woods Conference, where they pegged the US dollar to gold, and from there it was later removed in 1971 by President Nixon. So every country were willing to transact with US dollars, because now it was accepted by a group of countries that the US dollar should be pegged to gold, and with that there was trust in the US dollar. So we head over 1965 into 1966. There was a Shmita year, and the US stock market again lost 23% of value. 1972 into 1973, that Shmita year, the US stock market lost 48% of its value. There was a global recession, and the US lost its first war in Vietnam. 1978 into 1980, that Shmita year, the US had a recession, and the entire world also had a recession. 1986 into 1987, that Shmita year, 33% of the US stock market lost its value. 1993 into 1994, that Shmita year, there was a bond market crash. 2000 into 2001, that Shmita year, 37% of the US stock market lost value, and that was the season, or that was the period in which 9/11 happened. There was 9/11 attacks, and there was a global recession. Then we head over into 2007 into 2008. There was a Shmita year again, and 50% of the US stock market lost value, and there was a global recession. So that was one of the biggest recessions that we can remember in this generation. So currently, we just ended the Shmita year just in September 26th of this year, and the entire economy of the world is already feeling the weight of that Shmita year and how that things are not going as they ought to. So understanding this will prepare you adequately well for the future that we are heading into, considering that you are an investor and understanding how you ought to navigate in this very turbulent time. So my take on this is that if you understand this, the market has cycles, and we are currently in this Shmita cycle where things are down. But if you notice clearly, with all the seasons of recession and market drops, every time consistently the market always bounces back up. That has been proven again and again in history. Over and over again, we see that the market always bounces back. So in essence, just as the first part of this podcast started, the Shmita years was a way of people that believed in God, trusting that He will still provide for them. But the secret there is, as an investor and as a smart investor, that the Shmita year presents itself as an opportunity to invest into assets that are bound to make you great gains in the future. So you invest especially in this sense during the Shmita year, and you make profits when the market bounces back up. So understanding this will always keep you ahead of the game, and you will never be confused when things are not turning out the way you want it to. You should actually see this season as a blessing in disguise, where you go all out and go all in. This, although it's not financial advice, but with the wisdom of the ages and history backing this fact that the market will always bounce back up, and usually is in bigger folds than it dropped. So these drops we are seeing across the crypto market, most of the altcoins are down 90-95%, some 99%. Some might never rise up again, some might never hit their all-time highs again. Bitcoin, as we speak, is way below 60% down from the peak, and across board BNB, Ethereum, and all the major other crypto assets are also down. But in the next few years to come, or maybe probably in the next few months to come, when the US Federal Reserve pivots and they start considering quantitative easing, that is adding liquidity to the markets and propping up the markets again, until then, which will definitely happen, because every time they will have to save face, and no government really likes to look too bad in the faces and the eyes of those that voted them into power. So eventually this thing is going to turn around. But the question is, are you going to be here when it turns around, or you are going to quit like a lot of people who are discouraged and don't understand what is happening? People invested, and quite unfortunately they've lost a lot of money in this crypto space. But if you understand the season which we are, you position yourself properly to even double down on your investments. But before you do that, please make sure you do a lot of research into the projects you want to look into. Make sure you do diligent research on the projects you want to invest in, and double down. Go in dollar cost average. Have seasons where you buy. Just be buying as the days goes by, because eventually things will turn around. And this season of the Shmita, where agricultural activity prophetically is not allowed to happen, will eventually turn, and the market will bloom again, the market will pump again, the market will rise again. But it will only rise for people who really understood the game and played the game properly. That way, they set themselves and their generations for wealth that will keep them irregardless of the state of the global economy. So keep this code with you. The Shmita year is the year where, as an investor, you should consider going deep into your investments and doubling down on your investment. And when the markets turn and everywhere is green, everywhere is fruitful, people are euphoric about the markets, crypto is pumping 1,000% per day, 2,000% per day, people are just making crazy money, NFTs are selling for millions, very things we'll consider crazy, silly, really not important, are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. That season, we are in the season of euphoria, and you should be cashing out, not investing. You don't invest during bull markets. You make money and cash out during bull markets. So keep this secret with you for as long as you want, and teach people who will be interested to know how to play the game, because this whole space is a game. It's a financial game, and those at the top understand it. So they play it perfectly. They are playing 5D chess, and most people are just playing. They are just playing, as we call it here in Africa, Ludo. They are just playing dice. But these guys understand the game, and they manipulate the system to a point where they never lose in the game. So this information you are receiving right this moment is for you to also understand the game and protect yourself, protect your wealth, protect your funds in a way that will make you profitable in the days to come. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast, the year of the Shmita. The Shmita, the year of the recession. And I hope as you interact with more of our materials and podcasts, you even consider our project, the Water Rabbit project, and also double down, because we desire to also build a safe haven for investors, considering how that this part of the world, this part of the globe, Africa, is really not having projects that exude excellence, integrity, and truth. Do you understand? So that is why the Shonver company created Water Rabbit, to also present to its community members to find a safe haven to invest and not fall into the hands of scam tokens and meme coins that really have no significance and value, but are just cash grabs and rug pulls. So thank you so much once again. Please do well to share this. Let somebody out there hear. Share it with someone. Share the links. Join our Water Rabbit groups on Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp, anywhere, and just keep yourself ahead of the game. In crypto, you never start earning until you've learned enough. So the key to earning in crypto is to learn. The key to actually earning in any space in the financial markets is to learn. So learn this, keep this, share this with someone, let someone else know what is going on in the markets, and let's all stay ahead of the game and make generational wealth that will keep us from the pain of the economic holocaust that is coming. Once again, God bless you all and have a wonderful time of day. Thank you.